Good morning, Saturday morning. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Both Lyle and Erik Menendez have been denied parole. Both brothers were denied parole in the state of California for the murder of their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in 1989. The parole board met yesterday with Lyle Hernandez through computer and through, like a FaceTime type parole hearing, and they shot him down for parole. He was denied parole. Um, a lot of people felt that they should have gotten out. A lot of people felt, and that was caused by the Netflix series. You see, the Netflix series really tried to create a sympathetic view, a sympathetic outlook for these two. But you'll notice I have another video I did yesterday on the Menendez brothers that explains a lot. And I suggest that you please click on my channel, hit the subscribe button, and check out the video I did on the Menendez brothers yesterday. Um, in my opinion, these two do not deserve to get out of prison. There's something about these two that have always rubbed me the wrong way. Listen, they tried the excuse. Let me be blunt, right? They tried the excuse that it was sexual abuse, right? And from their father, at the hands of their father. And that excuse only came after they tried to say that it was intruders. Follow me. And now I know I repeated some of this in yesterday's video, but I'm going to add something to this. So just stick with me for a second. They tried to say that it was the father's abuse that caused them to do it. But first they said it was intruders. And then they got caught in that lie. Okay, that's important that they lied. They weren't being honest about why they killed their parents. Okay, then they said that it might have been mob related. Okay, and it wasn't mob related. The police quickly found that out, so they lied again. Then they went on a massive spending spree with their father's money. Okay, and they hired a computer expert to come in and change their father's will back to the position of them being left their father's money, okay? Because their father changed the will on them because they were committing criminal behavior. They didn't want to do anything with their life, okay? They were actually charged with prior burglaries in the neighborhood. They were breaking into people's homes. So these were two troubled kids. When their father felt they didn't want to do anything with their life, he was cutting them out of the will. So they said that intruders did it. Then they said that the mob did it. Then they hired someone to come in and change his will, a computer expert. This was all brought out at trial. These guys couldn't tell the truth. They couldn't tell the truth at all. And then it wasn't until all that started to unravel in the first trial that they said that their father sexually abused them. And so your father sexually abused you, but you take a shotgun and blow your mother's head off from behind, right? It seemed that great. Listen, if I decided to take if my father sexually abused me, and I decided I was going to take him out for that, and I did, right? When the police came and they asked me, why did you do it? I would say, because my father sexually abused me. That's the truth. That's what I would tell them, because I would be so relieved and feel like I had justification for doing what I did. And I would tell them, the man sexually abused me my whole life, so I killed him. That's it. I couldn't take it anymore. Wouldn't you think that would be normal? But come up behind your mother with a shotgun and blow her head off? See, that doesn't sound normal to me. What they had to do in that situation was get rid of the mother as well. That's what, because the mother would have inherited all the money. You see, if they just take out the father, then the mother inherits the money, and they don't get the money. They wanted the money. This was a killing, a double murder of their parents over the money. They couldn't be honest from day one. They tried to fabricate stories. These guys were out buying Rolex watches after they murdered their parents. Fact, they were caught. They were out shopping and buying cars and new clothes and living the life after they blew their mother's head off. Your own mother that gave birth to you, who did nothing wrong to you. This wasn't an abusive mother. Came up behind her and blew her head off with a shotgun as she sat in the den in 1989. Now these two, you look at these two, and you could tell a lot, as I said, when you look into someone's eyes and you look into someone's facial features and you read them. These two were two premeditated murderers. They laid in wait, purchased shotguns, and took out their parents with a plan. And now they feel like I did 17 years in prison for taking someone's life. You would think that myself would be sympathetic and say, yes, listen, let them out. Let them out. You know what I mean? They did 36 years. But I don't feel that everybody should get out. Crimes have different sets of circumstances. And in their circumstances, these two guys planned the murder of their own parents. And so is 36 years enough? If they were honest, maybe I think 36 years would be enough. If they would step up and tell the truth and say, listen, we were two lost kids, two greedy kids, and we weren't thinking at the time, and we were stupid, and we regret it. They're still sticking to the story. No, we did it because he was abused, and then Netflix jumps on it. If these were two black kids from the projects, they wouldn't have a shot at release. They wouldn't have a shot at release. But because they're from fancy Beverly Hills, going to court with carnigans and pink sweaters, then they got a shot because the big lawyers step up and try and help them because daddy had millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars. But if this was anyone else, they would just be rotting in prison. No one would even be looking at the case again. I look at these two in their eyes and I don't see any honesty at all. I see manipulators. That's my opinion that I gave you with a lot of facts, So, as I said, they're both denied parole again. In the state of California, when do they go back to parole? Right? In New York, usually you go back after 2 years. If you get denied parole, they tell you come back in 24 months. And then you go back for a new hearing. It doesn't have to be 24 months. They could tell you come back in 1 year. You know what I mean? They could tell you come back in 18 months. But usually in New York, not all the time, not 100% of the time, usually in New York they tell, but this isn't New York, but California's not New York. They're in Cali. So I'm sure they have leeway into how long they can give before they're eligible for parole again. But, I guess the parole board saw through them like I see through them, you know. And so it is what it is, and I'm wrapping this up for now. Both brothers denied parole. That's a wrap. Have a good day. Take care.